Jeff Waybright, Jeffwaybright.
Okay, just talk to Tracy for a second.
Okay.
And just talk about, just if you could touch briefly on the whole ordeal that you guys have been experiencing with all this.
Well, the report came back that machines were randomly jumping from, I guess what the report I got anyway was that they were jumping from Democrat votes to Republican votes. If a person tried to touch for the Democrat, it was just randomly jumping up into McCain if they were voting for Obama, and so on and so forth. When we tested the machines to go in and try to duplicate that, we couldn't replicate that in any way, shape, or form. And so we called the manufacturer of the company and then retested the machines and couldn't find the things that were reported actually happening. So I've got a machine fired up here. It's not the identical machine that was used in early voting, but it is a machine that is identical to the type of machine. These machines don't vary in any way, shape, or form. So when the poll worker goes back with the voter, they insert what is called a personal electronic ballot into the machine, and it gives them a prompt to display ballot now. They touch that, and then it gives them a prompt to remove the PEB, which is the personal electronic ballot. On this machine, this is an Americans with Disability Act machine. This machine can be used to do an audio ballot for the sight impaired. So when the poll worker first gets to this screen, you'll notice the screen is just completely blue or a purple color. And they have instructions to either touch the green button to activate an audio ballot or to touch the screen to get a ballot that can be viewed by any voter and go ahead and vote it. So they just touch the screen, and that brings up this instruction page. Now this instruction page is very simple. It tells you to make your selections. Touch the candidate on the screen to make your selection. Use the back, next and back buttons to view the ballot pages. After you vote your ballot, then it goes to a review screen. Tells you to touch the contest or candidate on the screen to make any changes. So you can go back, even after you've selected the first time, review it and make any changes before you cast your ballot. The last thing you do, of course, is cast your ballot. You press the vote button. This is here at the top. It'll start glow bright red and start flashing. And then there'll be a box that'll come up here on the screen in this vicinity with a check mark in it. You can touch that too if you wish to cast your ballot. After you cast your ballot, there still is a confirmation screen that comes up. If you have not selected candidates in certain contests, it'll remind you of that. Hey, you didn't select somebody. Do you want to go back and do that before you confirm? Or do you want to go back by and finish? So there are many fail-safes on the machine. We also put instructions up in the machines showing the voter where to touch on the screen, how to go back and forth on the screen, so on and so forth, so that the voter can try to vote their ballot in the privacy of the voting booth by themselves with no assistance. Of course, if they do need assistance, poll workers are readily available to answer any questions or to assist them. We have poll workers of opposite parties that anytime they assist a voter, they come back together if they actually go behind and view what the voter has done to assist them in any way. A lot of times they can verbally contact the poll worker and say, hey, the machine, it's doing this. I've got this screen. What do I need to do? And they can verbally tell them without even coming back behind the machine. So I'll give you a quick demo of how the machine works. Of course, once the poll worker gives them their instructions, the poll worker will leave. They'll touch this, and the ballot begins loading. The poll worker leaves the voting area to leave the voter in the privacy of the voting booth. Here is the type of ballot that the voter would see. You notice that they have a straight Republican, straight Democrat party, straight Mountain Party, and it gives instructions. You know, if you mark these, you will vote for all the Republican candidates. You will vote for all the Democrat candidates if you vote straight Democrat Party, so on and so forth. If I want to vote a straight Republican ticket, I touch the box beside Republican Party. You will notice that a green check mark comes up, not only in the Republican Party square, but also for every Republican Party candidate on that ballot. Okay? If I want to change that at any time, I can do that. If I want to go from Republican, I said, oh no, I accidentally hit the Republican block instead of the Democrat block. I can go change that. The voting machine tells me, hey, the candidates of the Republican Party will be replaced by all the Democrat. Are you sure you want to do that? If you do, press here to continue. That's what I want to do. And you notice as you come back, the Democrat Party box is highlighted and the Democrat candidates are all highlighted. I didn't point out that as we made the choices on the screen, to your left is a continuous real-time paper trail of everything that has happened on this machine. It lists, when I voted a straight Republican ticket, it put all the Republican candidates that were selected. When I canceled it, you'll notice here are all the Republican candidates, and out beside their name it says that they were canceled, 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 all the way down through. Then I selected the Democrat Party. It tells me that selected was the Democrat Party, and all the Democrat Party candidates are now showing selected. As you go through the screens, you will see that all the Democrat candidates are selected. The only thing on our ballot for this election that will not be checked are the nonpartisan races or the levy races. And as you see on the screen, the machine is working exactly the way it's supposed to. There are no check marks beside the nonpartisan candidates or for the levy. Now, once you get through, this is the 6th page of a 6-page ballot. Once you have reached the end of your ballot, you'll notice down on the bottom right is a box that the voter would hit to review their selections. When they touch that, all the selections that they have made for this ballot are check marked with the boxes highlighted to show them exactly who they voted for. If at this time they have a problem with any of these, and you'll notice around this screen, there are only active places there on the ballot where you can make a switch. Let's say, for instance, I didn't want to vote for Jay Rockefeller. I wanted to change that. I can change that at this time, go back to my review screen, and notice Jay Rockefeller has been replaced by Jay Wolf. And you can do that at any time. That allows the voter a fail-safe to make sure that they are voting for the candidates that they wanted to vote for. Now, as you go through the review screen, this is page 1 of the review screen, 1 of 3. You'll go to the next page. It shows you, again, originally, if you remember, we voted for all Democrat candidates. All the Democrat candidates are still listed here and checked. One thing I did do, and I should have pointed out, was when I canceled Senator Rockefeller down here, after we entered the summary page, it shows that we canceled Jay Rockefeller, we selected Jay Wolf. So it is recording exactly what we've done on this screen over this paper trail.
Just a second.
Okay.
Let me roll for a second. So,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Technical mumbo jumbo.
It's okay.
All right, go for it.
All right. If you remember, when we originally cast our ballot, we voted a straight Democrat ballot. All the Democrat candidates had a check mark. We did go back in the review and switch Jay Rockefeller to Jay Wolf, which it showed on the review screen. Then we go to the 3rd page. On this last page, if you remember, on the last page of our ballot was our nonpartisan and our levy contest. We didn't make any selections there. And because it was not a party choice, because of it being a nonpartisan, you'll notice there was no selection made for the district supervisor or for the levy. The reason there is no selection made for the surveyor is because if we go back and look at that, we will see that there was only a Republican candidate for surveyor. Straight Democrat ticket, the surveyor, no Democrat candidate, no check mark in the box. So you could have went back and changed.
Son of a gun. I'm so sorry. And every phone call is more important than the last.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
But, you could go back and change that if you wanted. If you wanted to go ahead and give this candidate a vote, and then it would show on Surveyor that there was a vote. Notice on this selection for magistrate, you can vote for not more than 2. So I could have voted for 2 candidates there, but I voted a straight Democrat ballot. There is only 1 Democrat candidate for magistrate, so only that name came up on my review screen. I could still go back. I could add if I wished. I could leave it blank. I choose to leave it blank. It comes back again to the review screen with just the Democrat person, the Democrat candidate checked. At this point in time, we're on the last page of our review screen. We have checked, rechecked. We've looked at the paper trail. We see that it has correctly recorded all of our selections. Then we can press here, it says, as I told you, to cast your ballot now. You can either press the green box or press the vote button. Most people press the box. Now it goes to the confirmation screen. Notice it says, ballot not complete. You have not made a choice in some contest. Remember when we looked at the review screen and it said no selection made? This is now telling you, wait a minute, you didn't vote for some people. Are you sure you wanted to do that? I don't know if I did or not. Let's go ahead and go back. Let me go back and look at that review screen and see who I missed. Circuit judge. I didn't vote for anybody. I can't remember who was running. Let's go back and see. Well, there's only 1 candidate. He's a Republican. No, I don't think I want to vote for that. Can we go back further? Yes, let's go back. Oh, no, I've made all my selections there. Let's see. That looks who I wanted to vote for. No selection circuit judge. I've looked at that. No, I didn't want to vote for another magistrate. I really don't care about the nonpartisan races. Yeah, I'm fine. Cast my ballot. Now I confirm my ballot. And you'll notice that this paper then rolls up, showing that I have confirmed my ballot. It continues to roll till it's a blank piece of paper, so the next voter cannot see how I voted. The screen will go, it thanks me, and then it goes back to this screensaver. I've done my vote. That's what happens. Okay?
Okay, just a few questions, and answer Tracy here.
Okay.
So, has this impeded a lot of progress in the office? All the attention then lately.
As far as me getting my individual work down, now what you have to remember is this is Ripley, West Virginia. This is Jackson County, West Virginia. I'm the county clerk. I've got 1 person that works full-time for me in voters registration. That person is in right now helping with early voting. We have 20 days of early voting in West Virginia. So that person is over there assisting 2 other poll workers who are opposite parties. One's a Republican, one's a Democrat. So we meet the qualifications for that. So it leaves all the rest of the preparation for the election, along with the everyday duties that I have, to go ahead and get ready for the election. So yeah, it slowed it down a little bit. But like I said, we're totally transparent here. We welcome anyone who would like to see how the machines operate, how the machines function, so on and so forth. Now what I have done, because I think possibly what may have happened, because people's hands are different sizes. Some people use their index finger to select with. Some people will use a thumb. Some people will use a knuckle. What I've done is I've bought number 2 pencils, just regular pencil, with a simple eraser on it. And we're using those now. We've been using them since Monday as a stylus. And I'll go ahead and pull the ballot up again for you. This is what a poll worker would do in early voting and election day.
I don't think we need to go through the stylus and everything.
Okay, you don't want to?
But I think that covers it enough.
Now they had a question about whether the machines were in calibration or not. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I can possibly demonstrate it. This machine was in calibration. You can see wherever I touched on the screen, the vote came up there. It didn't vary at all. A machine that's out of calibration, it's very difficult even to just pull up a ballot on the machine, the poll worker. Now you have to remember, in early voting, we have every polling place, every precinct listed on the screen, because people from all over the county are coming, and we have to vote those in the right, their right polling place. So we have 1 through 31 on there. If the machine was out of calibration, I might go to push precinct 3, and it would pop over to precinct 6. I could possibly get this machine out of calibration and show you what a machine out of calibration does. If if you would like.
Wait, just say it from the beginning. This is how we calibrate.
Okay, this is the method of calibrating a machine. We press the line intersection where the X's are. And we do this for every machine that we test before they go to a polling place. Now, to show that it is in calibration, wherever I touch my finger, you'll notice that the X follows my finger. Okay? So this is a machine that is in calibration. Okay? Now, this is just the terminal menu that I test the machines with. I press the vote button to calibrate the machine, and I'll just take this PEB out here and power the machine down. Okay, now, as I did that, notice the machine is open. It is entered and cleared for service, and notice I went to the calibration, touchscreen test, touchscreen recalibrated. So this machine right now is in calibration. Okay? If we go to vote on this machine, wherever we touch on this machine, the check mark should come up exactly where we touch, because this is a calibrated machine. Okay? Notice it canceled out. I first touched John McCain. I decided to change to Barack Obama. It changed from John McCain to Barack Obama. It changed over here. I selected John McCain. It canceled John McCain. It selected Barack Obama. If I want to vote for Cynthia McKinney all the way down, it'll deselect and select whoever in the continuous paper trail. I'm going to hurry up and go through this so I can show you what possibly would happen if a machine was not calibrated and sent out to a polling place out of calibration, or if it got knocked out of calibration from the time it left here and got to a polling place out a rural road, on a bumpy road, or so on and so forth, if it would possibly get knocked out. Again, we only made a few selections, so that's why on these review screens it's showing no selections made. Okay. All right, now I'm going to have to get back to that menu screen. Okay, and notice it says press the vote button to calibrate the screen. Okay, press it again to calibrate. Now I am intentionally going to not hit the X's. I'm going to be off. And because I am not hitting the X's to calibrate, this machine should not be calibrated when I go to vote on it the next time. Okay, now remember before it's telling us again, verify the cross follows the touch point. So I'm touching here, look where the cross ended up. I'm touching here, look where the X ended up. Touching here. So it's very obvious that this machine is out of calibration. Okay? Press the vote button to exit. Press the screen to skip calibration. Okay. Now I'm going to shut the machine down. And I'm going to try to bring a ballot up. This is again what the poll worker would do. And if the poll worker got to a machine and it was out of calibration, this is what would happen. Okay, I need to display the ballot now. Notice I'm touching the box that shows display ballot now, and it is not working. I did it there because I moved over And at some point in time, it found a pressure point, even though it wasn't calibrated exactly right. I'm going to remove the PEB now. This might, okay, there we go. Okay, I'm trying to view the ballot on a machine that is out of calibration. Hopefully, notice I'm all in that yellow, and I can't get it to even get to the ballot because the machine's out of calibration. Now let's try to touch there. I found a spot that made it work. Okay, but notice what happens when I try to vote a ballot. Now, I don't know where it's out of calibration. I don't have any idea where it's going to pop up. But let's just say I want to vote for Barack Obama. It's not letting me. More than likely, if it's going to show anywhere, it'll be on the side where the blue buttons are, and that's where the instructions tell you to touch. So I'm going to touch Barack Obama there. But notice it jumped clear down to Chuck Baldwin because the machine is out of calibration. Now it sent me to a screen to vote a write-in ballot. I don't know if I can cancel it to get out of it or not. Notice I hit cancel and 8 came up. If this would happen, immediately this machine would be taken out of service. Because there's no way, you can see there's no way that you can vote on a machine that is out of calibration. This is very interesting. I just hit Ann Barth's name. See if I can duplicate that. Hit Ann Barth's name, and it came up. Okay, I'll hit Ann Barth again and it'll uncheck it. But believe you me, the voter would know that. The poll worker would know it. The poll worker would know there was a problem before they ever got to the ballot. You saw how hard it was for me. So this machine's out of calibration. And that's what a machine looks like. But you notice when I hit Barack Obama, the machine's out of calibration. It did not jump up to the Republican candidate. It did not vote a straight Republican ticket. It didn't do that. It jumped down to Chuck Baldwin. So, you know, the allegation that was made was they went to hit the Democrat and it jumped up to a Republican every time.
Okay,
So,
just so that everybody will be clear on this, hit like John McCain's so everyone can see that it's...
okay, John McCain went to Ralph Nader. Okay, straight Democrat. Did go to John McCain this time. Straight Republican. I don't know if I can get it going. It slid over and did that. Where did I get it? It's all over the board. John McCain goes to Ralph Nader. So, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to where it's going on an uncalibrated machine. And believe you me, I can shut this down. The poll worker would then go in and see that this machine is acting this way. Then they have to cancel the ballot. Here's a cancel ballot screen. Now it's going to be difficult to cancel this ballot because when I touch this, notice where that arrow is? I need to slide that up somehow to get that in that cancel the ballot screen like that. So now I can cancel this ballot like that, and hopefully one of these will be active so I can get out of this. Proceed with cancellation. And then notice it says, please remove the PB, vote was not cast. So it didn't allow me to vote that messed up ballot because it was out of calibration. So then what do? You go back in and you try to recalibrate the machine.
Okay.
This machine is now calibrated. Should bring up the ballot here in just a second.
Well, while we're waiting for this, Tracy, come over here. So we've just seen, we had Ann Barth, a Democrat candidate, came up straight Republican.
Mm-hmm.
We also had John McCain come up straight. Give your answer to her when I come up as Ralph Nader.
Mm-hmm.
Have you, partisan politics aside, have we received? How many complaints have you received so far?
I myself have only received one, personally, of a voter. No voter at any time has voted and came and told me that they had a problem with the machine. If they had, all I would have had to do was come over and check that machine. If there was any problem whatsoever with that machine, we would have taken that machine out, shut it down, sealed it, until we could get the ballot commissioners, the county commissioners, the people who actually checked and tested the machines back here at the courthouse, opened that machine back up, tested it, tried it, see what was going on. We would have took that machine completely out of the voting process. So that's how we would have handled that.
And what do you say to critics who say that this is partisan, or it's particularly? Obviously, the big fear now is that it seems that the biggest complaints have been from Democrat voters.
Well, not necessarily. It could be Republican voters who wanted to vote Democrat. But I can't, the machine is not programmed here. I can't program the machine to make it vote any particular way. When the programming goes on, from what I understand in the machine, it can't be programmed to randomly move votes one place or another. So, you saw on the demonstration, if you touch the screen beside the voter that you want to vote, whether it's straight party, whether it's changing, whether it's crossover vote, regardless, the machine is very accurate. So I've recalibrated this machine now. This is the same machine that was jumping all over the place just a few minutes ago. And I pulled up a ballot here for display, and you can see now it is functioning just as it should function. I voted a straight ticket. I came down and canceled, put in Ralph Nader instead of the Democrat candidate Barack Obama for president. I uncheck Ann Barth, it takes them off. I uncheck Jay Rockefeller, takes it off. If I change to a straight Mountain Party, the straight Mountain Party candidates come up. If I go straight Republican, it's out of calibration. Notice Ralph Nader came up. If that happens, again, the machine lets you know. The machine lets you know. If I go to a review screen, it lets me know. You should never leave the voting booth without voting for who you wanted to vote for. So, even if the machine, if there is a calibration problem, even if there is the machine lets you see that. It will not let you not vote for the person you wanted to vote for. So, I have confidence in the machine. I have confidence in the voters of Jackson County. Even those who had problems, nothing negative about them whatsoever. They had a problem. If they had a problem, I had a problem. And I want to make sure that all the problems are addressed, that everything is properly investigated, and that everyone leaves the voting booth voting for the candidate that they wanted to vote for.
Will there be engineers, so to speak, or someone on standby? Like, I guess you guys will have your hands full that day.
No, there are actually going to be techs trained by the ES&S. I got a memo from the Secretary of State's office. There will be technicians available on Election Day for Jackson County in case there are any machine problems, so that if those things are called in from the polling place, they can be dispatched there immediately, look at the problem, correct the problem if there is a problem that needs to be corrected, and if that machine needs to be taken out of service, then that machine will be taken out and replaced by a machine that is in working condition, proper working condition.
Do you miss the good old days when it was just paper?
Well, no, you know, we've had punch card here, we've had optical scan here. We didn't have any problem with the punch card when it was here. We had voter error when we had punch card with people putting in the cards backwards or upside down and still trying to punch and it not being caught at the polling place. The difference is, the biggest difference that I can see with these type of voting machines is that the error is caught in the polling place at the time by the voter. If they have an error with a paper ballot or a punch card or an optical scan ballot, the ones that we had in the past that weren't verified at the polling place, we didn't find out there was an error until we were processing them on election night. Then the voter was gone, we didn't know whose ballot it was, and to try to recreate what that voter did many hours before was very difficult. So that's another reason I like these machines, you know. Even if there is an error, whether it would be voter error or machine error, it can be corrected at the polling place before the voter leaves.
I think we got what we need. I just want to get a shot of you working away. Okay.
Okay, now one other thing that I may point out. If I go down here and I vote for Barack Obama for president, and then I decide that I only wanted to vote for Barack Obama as a Democrat candidate, but I vote a straight Republican ticket for everybody else, it will keep Barack Obama selected unless I physically go in there and uncheck him and then check back the Republican Party candidate. Now, to prove that we'll do that on every contest, we'll go ahead and we'll try to uncheck everything to make sure the screen is clear. And let's pick John McCain and then a straight Democrat ticket. And you'll see that it chooses all the Democrats on that page, but it keeps John McCain because I previously selected him for president before I went back and voted a straight Democrat ballot. So the voter needs to be aware of that also. And of course, when they go to the review screen, they will see that all the Democrats are chosen except for one, which is John McCain, which I previously selected before I chose the straight Democrat ballot. So just a little clarification there so that, again, and what we're trying to stress is the voter, please be aware of what candidates come up on your review screen so that you can change those. Now, can I change that? Sure I can. Let's go in and let's change John McCain to Barack Obama. And there I have all the Democrats listed. And the machine will let me do that. It keeps a real-time paper trail there also. And I have now voted the ballot the way I wanted to vote it by reviewing the ballot and updating the choices if there was a choice that I made that was incorrect. So again, I think the machine will do exactly what you want it to do when you want it to do it. It's just knowing what to do, and if you don't know what to do, just ask a poll worker. Poll workers are trained to try to help in these types of situations. Okay?
Okay, let me get a few more.
Yeah.
I got that.
I make these up to put in there.